Gurubhyo Namaha students, this is Mrs. Sri Vidya from Pon Vidyashram. Hope you would have understood the previous sessions. Now let's have the quick recap of the previous sessions. We read about matter, examples of matter, then classification of matter based on its properties, that is physical and chemical properties, and we read about the three states of matter, solids, liquids and gases, and about its properties also in detail in the previous session. And we read about what is atom and what is a molecule, and we read about elements, compounds, then how the elements are classified, metals, non-metals, metalloids, and also we read about the symbols of some elements from 1 to 20. And we described about the valency also. Now let's have the brief explanation of this atom. Atom is the tiny unit of matter, which I said you already. In an atom, there are three subatomic particles, namely electrons, protons and neutrons. In an atom, nucleus plays a vital role. The locations of these subatomic particles, where they are located. Electrons are present outside the nucleus, protons and neutrons are present inside the nucleus. Electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged and neutrons have no charge. The mass of an electron is 1 by 2000 the mass of an hydrogen atom. The mass of a proton is equal to mass of hydrogen atom and it is taken as 1 unit. How this discovery of subatomic particles had been done? Let us discuss. In 1900, J.J. Thomson had given the model of an atom which is similar to Christmas pudding. And also we can relate this to the watermelon and its seeds inside. The pudding had positive charge and the electrons having negative charge were like plums on the pudding. He proposed that an atom consists of a positively charged sphere and the electrons are embedded in it. The negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude. So the atom as a whole is electrically neutral. So the number of protons and the number of electrons makes the atom the electrically neutral. And when we want to discuss about this protons, electrons and neutrons. So many scientists have given many models about this atom. But the only successful model which we are using it in the branch of chemistry and which was accepted by all the people is Bohr's model of an atom. Why? Because why we accept this Bohr's atomic model is he is the only scientist who made an electron how to move around its orbits. But the other scientists had not told about the movement of electrons. The movement of electrons was random in the other scientists' theories. An atom is a positively charged nucleus at its center and most of the mass of the atom is in the nucleus. The electrons revolve around the nucleus in special orbits called discrete orbits. You can see in this picture, you can see the circular orbits. These orbits are called shells or energy levels and are represented by the letters K, L, M and N. And each shell has its own number of electrons. The distribution of electrons in the different shells was suggested by Bohr and Berry. The following are the rules for filling electrons in the different shell. Bohr had given the formula as 2n squared, where n represents the number of electrons. So this Bohr's model, why it was accepted is the electrons move in the discrete orbits and it has its own number of electrons. It cannot further move randomly. The maximum number of electrons in a shell is given by 2n squared, where n is the number of the shell, 1, 2, 3, etc. First shell, we call it as K shell. In the K shell, the number of electrons is 1. 2 into 1 squared, 2 electrons. L shell is 8 electrons. M shell is 18 electrons, etc. Now, let us see the composition of atoms of the first 18 elements here, with its number of protons, neutrons, electrons with its valency. Hydrogen, H. Helium, He. Lithium, Li, which we discussed in the previous sessions. And you can see the atomic number also here, 1 to 18. And the number of protons present in each element and number of neutrons also which is present. And the KLMN, how the electrons are distributed for each element, that gives you the valency of an element. The outermost electrons suggest we conclude the valency of an element. For example, when you take for sodium 281, the outermost shell, the number of electron is 1. So, the valency of sodium is 1. Now, let us see some chemical reactions in our day-to-day life. We saw in last year changes around us. Cooking. Here, it comes under chemical change. Okay. Now, let us study about the chemical reactions. A chemical reaction is a process that leads to the transformation of one set of chemical substance to another. Classically, chemical reactions encompass changes that only involve the positions of electrons in the forming and breaking of chemical bonds between atoms, with no change to the nuclei, and can often be described by chemical equation. A chemical equation is a shorthand form of representing a chemical reaction using symbols and formula. Chemical reactions involve the conversion of certain substances into some other chemical substance that may be an element or a compound. The element compounds involved initially in the reaction are called reactants, and the new elements or compounds which is formed are called as the products. What are the indications of a chemical reactions? Change in color and also the evolution of gas or the release of gas, which we saw in the last year in the changes around us. How to write a word equation? A word equation shows the change of reactants to products through an arrow placed between them. The reactants are written on the left hand side called as LHS with the plus sign between them. Similarly, products are written on the right hand side with a plus sign between them. The arrowhead points towards the products and shows the direction of the reaction. This equation is called the word equation. Replace the names of the products and the reactants with symbols and formula. This gives the chemical equation. Make sure that number of atoms of each element on both sides are equal. This is called balancing the equation. So, how to balance the equation? This is a reaction between the methane and oxygen producing carbon dioxide and water. So, here in the left hand side you call it as a reactant and the right hand side you call it as a product. The first step in balancing an equation is to count the number of atoms of each element on both the sides of the equation. So here for carbon, CH4, carbon the number of atom is 1 and hydrogen is 4. Oxygen is 2 in the reactant part. So in the product side, carbon is 1, hydrogen is 2 and O is 3. This is called as an unbalanced equation. So how to balance this equation? The reaction shown here is a combustion reaction. A compound reacts with oxygen and produce carbon dioxide and water. Now let us see the chemical equation here. A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction in the form of symbols and formula. Here we know this equation we already read in our class 6 also. Magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide. This is also an example of a chemical change. The substances that undergo chemical change in the reaction or the reactants. A new substance, magnesium oxide, is formed during the reactions as a product. So, the symbol for magnesium is Mg. When it reacts with oxygen, it forms a white colored powder called as MgO. So, here, why we call it as a chemical changes? Magnesium, when it reacts in the presence of oxygen, an entirely new substance, magnesium oxide, is formed. So this is an unbalanced equation. Mg plus O2 MgO, H plus O H2O. So skeletal equation are those equations which shows the reactant and product so formed without balancing them. This is also known as unbalanced equation. In order to make it as a balanced equation, what we are supposed to do is the number of atoms in the reactant and number of atoms in the product should be equal. So, how to do this? First of all, we should write the equation and count the number of elements that is present in the reactant and product along with its number of atoms. And also in the product side, we are supposed to do the same. Now, how to balance an equation? So, this is a reaction between methane producing carbon dioxide and water. Now, here in this equation, carbon is balanced and hydrogen, it is not balanced in the equation, and oxygen is not balanced here. Now, this balancing the equation should be done by a trial and error method. How to do this? So, we need to keep on adding the numbers, that is, replacing the names with symbols and formula, we get the chemical equation. To balance on both the sides, we are supposed to start with multiplying by 2. So, when we start doing that, we have to check with both reactant and the product. Now, here in this case, the carbon atoms are already balanced. So, now we look at the hydrogen atoms. There are 4 hydrogen atoms on the reactant and 2 hydrogen atoms on the product side. To balance them, we put a coefficient of 2 in front of water. So, now the equation becomes a balanced one. So, you can see here when you add that 2 in the place of the reactant side near oxygen, both the reactant and the product side gets balanced. So, this balancing the equation should be done by a trial and error method on the regular basis of taking some small equations and then working out them, so that it becomes so simple for us to understand in class 10. So this balancing the equation, you can read much more in your class 10. Let us talk about ions. What do you mean by ions? Compounds containing metal and non-metal elements contain charged particles called ions. In simple, the charged particles are called ions. There are 2 types of ions. One is a positive charge, another one is negative charge. Positively charged ion is called cation and the negatively charged ion is called anion. Valency is a combining capacity of an element. Let us see some ions, common ions in their valency. sodium Na plus, ammonium NH4 minus, hydroxide OH minus, nitrate NO3 minus, hydrogen carbonate HCO3 minus, zinc Zn2 plus, iron Fe2 plus, chloride Cl minus, bromide Br minus. So let us see with all the sessions and now make use of all this chapter by reading the symbols of all the elements starting with atomic numbers 1 to 20 with their valencies. So hope you would have understood this chapter. So let us all meet with the next interesting chapter. Thank you, children.